Ola from the west side. Hope you guys can hear me. Anyways, we are alive. Feliz jueves. Feliz jueves. That's happy Thursday in Espanol. Um, if you listen to the channel before, you know that Spanish is my second language. I'm not fluent in it. My dad is, but my family is Afro-Cuban. My dad's family on his father's side is from Cuba, and they the black Cubans, dark. Yeah. So anyway, happy Thursday, y'all. Just getting on here to see how everybody's doing, see what's going on, and to give you guys update about what's going on out here in the West, in Southern California. The kids have gone back to school. Hold on one second, y'all. I think I gotta close my door. Hold on. I have a mic on though. So I took y'all with me to the door. So as I was saying, let me make sure my mic is still on. Hope my mic sounds right. And shouts out to the replay crew because I know I'm real sporadic as to when I come live. But meant to come live yesterday. It just did not happen. But yeah, we are live today. We are live today. So the kids in the areas where the Southern California fires happened have started going back to school. The ones in Pacific Palisades have been relocated to schools in Brentwood, California, and in Santa Monica, California. And as of yesterday, they were still looking to find housing for, or find a school location, temporary school location for the kids at the charter school from Pacific Palisades, because all of the schools, it's just sad. One of the schools that I believe was also destroyed was like a movie landmark because um, the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High was filmed at Palisades High School. And that high school was still there, prior to this fire, which, in my opinion, was set. That's my opinion. Hold on one second, because y'all know I'm still at work. About to be off, but I'm still here for like a couple of minutes because I came in a couple of minutes late, or I logged on a couple of minutes late, shall we say, this morning because, we work from home over here. Second. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Basically cutting and pasting something, but I had to type it in once first so that I could paste it into all the other stuff that I. Okay, so the schools are back in. I didn't hear where the kids from Pasadena, Altadena have been reschooled, but my assumption is that the kids in the Altadena school district are probably getting housed down in Pasadena. But I will check on that and I'll let y'all know. But what I do know is that the residents of Altadena have already raised um, over $100,000. I mean, I'm sorry, $800,000. But the estimated the estimated cost to repair everything, they're talking about the estimated loss is over like 200 trillion, not billion, y'all. Trillion, trillion. And but the good thing is, out of all of this, one of the insurance companies, State Farm, shouts out to State Farm for doing the right thing, has decided not to um, take coverage away from the people that they were about to that they were going to take coverage from. So shouts out to State Farm for doing that. Um, that used to be my insurance coverage over my home that I had. Um, so yeah, shouts out to them for doing that. So I'm just changing my status. Work. I told y'all I was literally leaving, and I am locking my computer so that if by chance I accidentally do turn screens around, y'all won't see nada because I have locked up my stuff. So anyway, that's that's what we're facing in Southern California. Keep in mind, excuse me, part of the areas that were affected, Pacific Palisades, even though it's called Pacific Palisades, it's the Pacific Palisades area of Los Angeles. It is Los Angeles. And the Olympics the Summer Olympics will be in Los Angeles again in 3 years, 2028. Now, I say again because I was actually here when the Summer Olympics were here in 1984. I was still in college at USC at the time, and I decided to stay here that summer and take classes um, rather than go home so I could, get classes I needed to get done. I couldn't do them at my school, so I think I took classes at one of the community colleges. They were like some of the general ed ones that I needed to get out of the way. But I remember the lockdown of USC's campus and UCLA's campus during the 1984 for Olympics. I can only imagine what's going to happen in 2028. With that being said, this happening 3 years before the 2028 Olympics is going to be an extreme strain because they've got to find money to help put that part of Los Angeles back together. Um, Keep in mind it's the Summer Olympics, and some of the things that they're going to be doing, like I don't know, vo- the beach volleyball, surfing. That those are things that would normally be done places like Malibu, hmm on the beaches in Malibu. And Malibu had fires a couple of months ago, and they were also included in these fires that just happened. And just something is just not right about all of this. The ones in Pacific Palisades and the ones that happened in the Eaton Canyon ones, which affected Pasadena and Altadena. Now, from what I have found out, I I'm gonna have to check with my family that lives out in the Pasadena area, but I don't even know if the houses that my dad lived in two different houses while he was out here in California. He owned two different houses. Let's clarify that, at different times, not at the same time. But the area where he used to live, because those houses are in a very close proximity to each other, was affected. One of the areas, it's called Upper Hastings Ranch in Pasadena, and my dad's first house was in Upper Hastings Ranch, and then his second house was a house that was on the border of Upper Hastings Ranch, right by the golf course. And Upper Hastings Ranch is a part of Pasadena that borders Sierra Madre, and it's you know it's also adjacent to Altadena. So it was also affected because they're also close to the mountains as well, where these fires happened. So I'm wondering if either one of those houses is still around. I mean, I'm glad that my dad, is in a whole nother part of the country, you know, even though, where he's in the Carolinas, they still have to deal with other stuff, but he's not dealing with fires and stuff because during the time that my dad lived out here, I just can't think of there being any of these fires that were really coming at the Pasadena, Altadena area, Glendale, all of that over in that area, just La Crescenta, they just weren't getting the fires. And now suddenly it's hitting that. Those, in my opinion, are nothing but something that someone did. I mean, as we know, that one is the one that is being blamed. Southern California Edison, their electrical lines, because they didn't shut them down. So that would be the someone, allegedly Southern California Edison, who's going to be shelling out billions of dollars to the residents of Altadena that were impacted. Billions, because they need to sue them and they need to pay, just like PG&E had to pay for that fire up in Northern California. And before I go any further on, let me say hashtag free Wendy Williams. Hashtag free Wendy Williams. hmm Did y'all hear Wendy this morning on The Breakfast Club? Did you see the interview via YouTube? I told y'all something was not right about that. Wendy Williams and Britney Spears conservatorships are the reason that I have been so hesitant to put my son in a conservatorship, even though I'm only trying to put him in a limited conservatorship. These two women who don't have autism, don't have the issues that my son has, are in full conservatorship because someone said that they weren't able to take care of themselves. Based on the interview that Wendy did this morning, somebody lying about Wendy. Somebody did not want that Black woman to have that kind of power and that money and know the things that she knows. So they're trying to make it like she doesn't know what she's, that she's out of her mind and all of this stuff, and that she has dementia. That didn't sound like dementia this morning. Didn't sound like dementia. When I checked how many people had looked at it, and I'm not a Breakfast Club fan because I'm not a Charlemagne the God fan, and Envy. Who is he? Anyway, um, but and however, I was happy that they were able to get Wendy on, and we were able to have that conversation. It's crazy. Wendy doesn't have her own phone. She doesn't have control of her own assets. This lady is lying about all of this stuff. Someone needs to do something about this. Now, from what I understand, there is a change.org document out there in regards to this, but we need to make noise about this. Whether you like Wendy Williams or not, because if they can do it to her, they can do it to someone else. If they're able to do this to her, I'm not even going to name anybody else that's Black and powerful. But y'all know what I'm talking about. And it wasn't even that she was powerful. It's the things that she knew. Like she been told, she been telling y'all about P Diddy. Those of us who are in that same age range, we all know. That's why you young folks being shocked by this. Those of us who are older knew this stuff, but and however, nobody knew the extent to what it was, and he had the right people protecting him. Whoever those people are, aren't protecting him anymore, or can't protect him anymore, and he's trying to take everybody down with him. But hashtag free Wendy Williams is a real thing. We need to do that. They are holding this woman against her will. They are they are destroying her life. She can't even go see her 94-year-old father for his birthday without permission from somebody who I don't know who they are. And she just says that person. So that's telling you. She called her that person. But it's a palm colored woman who's doing some shady ish along with a bank who I'm glad I don't have any money in and haven't had any money in a long time. But that same bank sent me a check last year for a couple of $1,000 because of some shady ish that they did in the past when I did have an account with them. Because I was with them during that time period. hmm Wasn't much, but it was something. So I don't trust that particular bank, and I don't trust that palm colored woman who has been handling Wendy's affairs for the last 3 years. This is just insane to me. And I'm saying this, you know, because if they can do this to her, they can do this to anyone. You see what's happening to all these people who are our skin color and have any type of money, success, or power. Y'all see what's happening. It's crazy. Making sure my thing is still on, y'all. And I still got plenty of battery on my phone. We're still good. We've been on here for about 20 something minutes. Now, I did put out a video out today. Shout out to respectively M, also known as M Bernadette. There was a conversation in her chat a couple of days ago in regards to a content creator in the beef sector, on site April, having I guess they call it a elder pregnancy, and just whether that's possible, just talking about it. And then the conversation went into people who have hysterical or phantom pregnancies. So I did a daily thoughts today and posted it earlier today on hysterical or phantom pregnancy. It's a real thing. Um, about a 8.5 minute video. Please go take a look at it. Um, I don't know a lot of people who have had that. I mean, people, but people, older women generally don't fake pregnancies. And we do know that contrary to what people want to say, women can have children into their 50s if they still are having a cycle. Okay? And you can still have a baby, you can still get pregnant, even if you are going through menopause, if you still have a cycle and there's still eggs. If there's still at least 1, 2 eggs in there, yeah, I'm just saying. Now, those are higher risk pregnancies, obviously, because you are over a certain age. They think that it's higher risk if you're over the age of 35. Okay? Because typically we have children before we turn 35. And we already know that unfortunately there's a higher mortality rate for us in pregnancy because you know, they don't take our, you know, things that happen with us in pregnancy or in the delivery of a baby as seriously. You know, as I told you guys, when I went in to have my son, and even um when I went to visit the hospital that I had my son in, I made sure these people knew that my father was a doctor who was practicing in the area, and that when I had my child, he was going to come coming by to check on the care of his child, me. So, which he did, which my dad did. Yes, he did come by there, see me and see his grandchild. So, you know, another reason why majority of my doctors have always been the same color as me, because we understand what we are going through, you know, and it's a bunch of BS that we have higher tolerances for pain. It's a bunch of BS that we are asking for pain medication when we are in labor because we were doing drugs before we had this child. You know, they didn't have to worry about me asking for nothing. I wasn't asking for anything. I didn't ask for anything. And when I finally did ask for something, I think what did they give me? Um, Something for the pain. Demerol. Yeah, that's what it was. Demerol. That was like a gnat passing by. That was like a gnat passing by compared to my actual pregnancy labor. But I was a trooper. I was a trooper. Because that's all I had. I wasn't letting them do no epidural because I have scoliosis. I don't need anything jacking my back up any more than it already naturally is jacked up. So I knew I had scoliosis, so I wasn't having them to jack my back up anymore. No, thank you. Thank you, but no, thank you. So I'm not. I mean, if in fact she is pregnant and she says she's pregnant, I mean, it would be really weird for a woman in their 50s to lie about being pregnant, to fake a pregnancy. But then again, we did had a couple fake pregnancies up over here in the black parts of YouTube. So that's probably why everybody's questioning everything. But it is definitely possible. Like I said, unless she had her parts taken out, i.e., had a hysterectomy or had a tubal ligation, and I'm talking about one where they burned them suckers, not when they just tied them up, because they can come untied. FYI, ha ha ha. You know, and or if the person she's with had a vasectomy that came undone, those have happened too. I know someone who had twins behind one of them vasectomies that undid itself because she wasn't trying to have no more babies, and she was Catholic, and you know they don't. Catholic Church doesn't believe in using birth control. They want you to use the rhythm method. Here's what I'll tell you about the rhythm method. The rhythm method is the best way to get pregnant. Hmm. And here's the thing: you generally get pregnant when you're not trying to get pregnant. You generally get pregnant when you're not trying. Okay, so I I guess we'll find out if she's really having a child. You know, it's not as far fetched. I mean, she wouldn't be the first woman in their 50s, you know, to get pregnant. It's possible. Everybody doesn't go through menopause in their 40s. Those of you who go through menopause in your 40s, you're going through early menopause. Okay, it's early. Generally, the normal time to go through menopause is sometime in your 50s. And here's the crazy thing: the later you, as a woman, start to have a cycle during your teens, generally you start menopause faster than the people who started their cycle like when they were younger. Now, again, I think I was 13, 12 or 13, and I had a cycle all the way up into my 50s. And here's the definition of menopause, because you can be going through menopause, as I said, and still get pregnant. Because here's the thing: until you have not had a cycle for a minimum of 12 months and it doesn't come back, like for 12 months straight, that's when you are considered to be completely out of, on the other side, even though you're going to still have hot flashes for years, unless you're taking, the right hormones, etc. But you can have no cycle for like 9 months, 10 months, 11 months, and then if it come back in that 12th month, you're not, you got to wait a whole nother 12 months. How do I know? Because that happened to me. I thought I was done, and it came back for a couple of months to F with me in my almost mid 50s. I was mad. So, because my son grown. My son turned 18 when I turned 50. And if he was not on the autism spectrum, I'd have been free as a bird when I turned 50. But because I have an adult child on the spectrum, I'm not free as a bird because I'm his primary caregiver. I'm his caregiver. But it's not the same as it was when he was growing up. It's not as all consuming as it was when he was growing up. Hence why I started talking about it on YouTube now that he's an adult, because I'm on the other side of where many, other parents are. And because, let's be honest, there's not a lot of people who are black or brown on this platform talking about autism and willing to share their experience with their children with autism. You got to be careful if you show them while they're still under 18, because then they'll say you're exploiting your kid. Okay. And if it's after they're over 18, well, then at that point, it's their choice. As y'all see, my son comes in when I'm doing lives for the most part. And if I'm not on camera, I'll turn the camera on when he comes because he wants to be seen, you know, but he's also an adult. And even though he don't talk that much to y'all, it's not because he can't. It's, he has autism, and he has to think about what he's going to say, and sometimes it takes him 20 minutes to process something, and then he'll say what he wants to say 20 minutes later. It is what it is. So, but getting back to what I was saying, no way I would be having no kid in my 50s. Not me, but bless your heart, on site April. Bless your heart, child. If you having a baby girl, bless your heart. Because it couldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. And as I said, I was still capable, still able to have a child in my 50s. But praise God. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. He didn't do that to me. I mean, wasn't there some, I think like maybe somewhere, I think that there's a lady, I think there's a couple that's in Baltimore where it's a black couple and they're both in their 50s and they had tried to have children and it just never happened. And then suddenly she's pregnant in her early 50s and now they're parents, natural. And then I think there was, and I believe they also went on the Tamron Hall show. So like I said, it is possible. But I know because we didn't have all these fake pregnancies going on around here that we side-eyed anybody coming up on here saying that they're pregnant. And the ones with the fake pregnancies want you to leave that in the past. They want to act like they want you to act like it never happened. Child, please. Death or senility is how I'll forget that you came on here with that BS. I'm like, are we in high school? Because that is what high school girls do. High school girls will fake like they are pregnant because they want to keep a boy. I know, because I had friends do that stupid ish when I was in high school. Fake like they were. One of them tried to get me to fake like I was. But I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. But that's some high school stuff. That's some stuff you do in high school. Hell, that's some stuff that even college women will do. Will do because remember, our frontal lobe is not fully developed until we're 25. So I expect somebody under the age of 25 to pull some BS like that. But fully grown women, that's just some BS. And one of them had the audacity to call it an experiment. Brooke, girl, get the F out of here with an experiment. Experiment my behind. You got out here and lied and scammed and, lied about it. You lied. You lied. You lied about being pregnant for no reason. No reason at all. And the other one, I don't know what the deal was with her. Okay? So let's hope that Onside April is not on that BS. That, she simply has a a, a, a elder pregnancy, whatever they call it. I don't know because God blessed me to not have a child in my 50s. The child that I have, my son who has autism, I still have the patience of Job for him as an adult. But, you know, I'll let him get away with stuff just because he has autism as an adult. I'll be like, no, you gotta act like you're a grown man. You need to get together. I expect him to be, you know, who he can be. Oh, suddenly I'm like all stuffy, y'all. I don't know what's going on with that. But we'll see what's going on with onside April, you know. I'm not gonna disbelieve her. I'm gonna see what happens. Okay? I'm gonna see what happens. So getting back to stuff that's going on in the world, I told y'all not to let this stuff that's going on here in California, in Southern California, to be a distraction from other stuff that's going on. So y'all see um, the foolery that's going on with the Senate confirmations of the folks that 47 is trying to put in place. So he has Senator Mark Rubio is now going to be the Secretary of Defense or the Secretary, or is he the Secretary of State? One of those two. Neither of which he's qualified for. So I think he's the Secretary of State. I think he's Secretary of State. I think it's another one who barely has any military experience that's going to be running the Department of Defense. That's going to be scary. And then that Pamela Bondi is supposed to be the Attorney General over at DOJ. Now she claims that she sidestepped the stuff about Liz Cheney. Excuse me. Oh. She sidestepped the stuff about whether she would give pardons to anybody who was in part of that January 6th stuff. So we shall see, because in all actuality, all the Democrats can really do is try to grill them and hope that from the questioning that they're doing, that they lose somebody on the Republican side. But they can still afford to lose a couple of people on the Republican side and still fly through the confirmations. Because you people who either went in those curtains and did other than, and only voted for the national election, forgot about your local stuff, or, you know, those of you who didn't care who was in your local stuff or your state stuff or anything, because didn't realize that that's where the impact on anything for you actually is, you know, that you didn't heed what we were telling you. Because I told people you need to look and see what's happening in your cities and your states and everything. I told y'all to look at all of that stuff. hmm You know, I mean, like right now, one of the reasons why I think that something is sinister in regards to these Southern California fires that just mysteriously popped up. As I told you, this is not normally the time of year where we have these Santa Ana conditions. Where'd those Santa Ana conditions come from? How they just magically come through. Normally, when we have Santa Ana conditions, is in the spring and the summer. Spring and summer. But who knows what the weather patterns are now, because so many things are up in the air. hmm So many things, up in the atmosphere, the stratosphere, above the stratosphere, right out there where there's, zero oxygen, hanging on the pull of the gravity from the earth. Yeah. In orbit of the planet. Yeah. Those things. Who knows what our actual weather patterns are? But we've got a couple of days, y'all. A couple more days before 47 takes office on Monday, January 20th, which is a national holiday because it's a day of service. Told y'all what I'll be doing. I don't give a F about what's going on in Washington, D.C., my hometown, on Monday. I'm going to be dealing with the impact that MLK, whose birthday was yesterday, in all actuality, had on this country. And if he were still here, he would have been 96 years old yesterday because he was born in 1929. I know that because he's 10 years older than my dad. He was 10 years older than my father. They both went to the same college. They both pledged the same fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha, at that same college, Morehouse, which is now Morehouse University. So that's what I'll be thinking about. I'll be thinking about his impact as a civil rights leader, his impact as being a young father when he was doing all of this, because he didn't even make it to his 40th birthday. He was 1 year shy of making to his 9 months, really, because he was unalived in April of 1968. And his birthday is in January. So he was months from turning 40. He was 39 years old. So he was still a young father. His children were still young at the time that their father was unalived. So that's the things that I'm going to be thinking about. And I'm going to be looking at what I can do in my community. And but with all that's going on here in Southern California, there's going to be plenty of community service that I can do on Monday. It has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in DC. So, as I said, we will be changing administrations on Monday. Last night, 46 gave his farewell speech. And he said a lot of things during that speech. He talked about, his concern about AI. He talked about the things that he hopes the next administration will continue. Though I don't know. It looks like that man's going to come in and just bulldoze through anything that Biden did, unfortunately. Um, however, I'm glad that they were both on the same page about the hostages in the Middle East, because he was able, even if there was some pressure from the incoming administration, it got done during Joe Biden's administration. So we're going to start to see, I pray, the people who are being held there being let go, including those who are Americans, including the remains of those who were unalived while they were over there, including that one young man. Sorry, y'all. This cough just will not go. It will just not go away. It's just like here to stay. And I think it's because we've had all that smoke and everything in the air, even though when I go outside, I put on a mask. And the air is a lot cleaner now. But I don't know. Maybe I went from having everything in my chest to now it's going to my head. Now I'm getting congested, like I can't breathe, but probably because I'm on here talking. Probably because I'm on here talking. I'm almost done. But he talked about a lot of things during his speech yesterday. I wish him well um, in his, you know, leaving after over 50 years of public service, political service to this country. Now, the other thing that is out there, which I think is just a bunch of BS, because they have to look for something. They can't just leave these people alone. But they're out there saying that because Michelle Obama, my forever FLOTUS, did not attend President Jimmy Carter's funeral, and that she has put out that she is not going to be at the inauguration of 47, that there's trouble between she and Barack and that they are not on the same page. Let me tell y'all something. Um, 44 and his wife are in a partnership. And just like he is highly educated, she is highly educated. And just like she stood behind his dream, which was to become president of the United States, and left her career in law, she's still an excellent attorney and excellent mind. And she has a brand of her own that she is trying to put out there that is not about her being the wife of a former president of the United States. She is trying to put out her own identity. She doesn't want to go into politics. She's writing books, she's doing speaking engagements, and she's putting stuff out there about her. Her and Barack are fine. Stay out their business. Okay? I don't even know why people are even doing this, because it's ridiculous. Because she's branding herself, because she's not putting all her business out on social media, and neither is he, because he is supporting his wife, while he's doing what he wants to do. He's allowing her to do what he's, I'm not going to say it that way. He's supporting her in what she wants to do. Have y'all even read her book? I don't know why y'all are concerned. That man is not going to do anything to lose that woman. Ain't no trouble with them, but there's nothing saying she has to be at all of these events. She is not the one who was president of the United States. She has a life outside of that, because 44, her husband, Barack Obama, was president, this is his duty to be at all of those things. I can't even think of the woman's name, but 47's wife. Is there something else that she does that we're not aware of? Because what was she doing when he was in the White House the last time? Oh, she was raising their son. Well, now their son Darren is an adult. This should be interesting because my opinion only, I believe that Barron is on the spectrum. I don't believe that the spectrum is the reason that he is the way he is. I think that's who he is. But I believe that he's on the spectrum. And I believe that's part of the reason why he was hidden growing up. I don't think he's on any type of meds, which is, you know, I'm not an advocate for the meds. But I think that he's on the spectrum. But he is his father's child. Let us not forget. He is his father's child. So this should be interesting because there wasn't a whole lot of, we didn't see a whole lot of Barron the last time, but I think that we're going to see more Barron this time. I do, because he's grown now. He's still not fully developed frontal lobe. He's still under the age of 25. He's still a child to me. But I just think it'll be interesting to see what he does. hmm I do. I do. I absolutely do. Now, I'm almost done. Now, what I have, I think I might post this. Either I'll post some pictures or I'll do a shorts. Because right now, what I have going over here is I put some pork ribs in the slow cooker. They have been in there all day long. They'll be done in about, I say maybe another 30, 45 minutes. And I think I'll take a video or a picture of them when they're done because I did take a picture of them before I started slow cooking them. But yeah, I think I might put that up. They're going to be fall off the bone. They have been on there for 6 hours. And generally, it's because I have it on low, it's generally 6 to 8 hours. But I think I've been looking at them so I don't have like a whole slow cooker full of them. Just, they're covering the whole bottom of it and they're all in the barbecue sauce. And I put up this this um this bourbon rub on them. So I think they're just going to be delicious. I'm also doing some oven fried pork chops to go with them and some corn on the cob. And I still have some greens from yesterday's meal. So I might add the greens in there with it. Or I got this lobster mac and cheese. Maybe I'll do that with it. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. But definitely I'll probably put up the ribs for you guys. But let me come on camera. Let me make sure nothing, none of my work stuff showing. Okay, hey you guys. Hey you guys. So this is the end of the video. I'm getting ready to get out of here. Please go check out my daily thoughts that I put out earlier today in regards to um, hysterical or phantom pregnancy. And the actual name of the condition is called pseudocystis. I think that's what it's called. Pseudocystis. Um, I hashtagged it in the video, the correct spelling of it. Um, and I gave resources in the video in regards to that actual condition. Um, when I was younger, I knew it was called hysterical pregnancy, but it's also referred to as phantom pregnancy. But as I said, I don't think that that's what's going on with on-site April. And I just, I don't know her personally, but I don't see her as the type that would be out here doing taking a pregnancy in her 50s. Like, why would she do that? Doesn't even make sense. Oh, other thing I wanted to do is uh I thought this was really strange. Somebody didn't believe that Pizarro had kids. So she had one of her kids, her youngest actually, get on there and say bye to them. Doesn't who are these people who don't think she has kids? Oh yeah, the same people who think that when she did have her kids on here, that those were a relative's kids and they weren't really hers. And she was pretending that they were her children. Who pretends to have 4 kids? Who pretends? Um, I don't know. Anyway, she had one of these imaginary children come on her program today, and I've heard the kids in the past, so I didn't understand that one. I didn't get that one, but whatever. I'll see you guys later. I'll see y'all in these streets. Have a good day. Looks like we're still going. Yeah, the little green light you see, that's the light on here that it's working. So I'll see you guys later. Until then, I offer you peace and blessings from the West Side. Hopefully, I'll get this cough and stuff that's with me gone. Keep praying for those of us here in Southern California. Hashtag free Wendy Williams. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning of the video. I talked about that. Go check out the Breakfast Club this morning. Wendy Williams was on there with her niece and gave an extensive interview. They have that woman in prison. She There's nothing wrong with her. She's all there. Okay. All right. I'll see you guys later. Out. Peace.